From the shadows of the tomb, the dead are summoned.
Hello, motherfucker. There he is. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
And that's
back.
what I said. Don't listen to them. Never change.
And what'd she do then?
She looked in my eyes and she said, Patrick, you're a saint. You have single-handedly inspired me. I will now be known as Lady Gaga. True story.
What an incredible story. When people see this shit, they're gonna lose their fucking mind.
I'd love to put this on the show, but it's just not metal. It's Professor Death Metal. How are you?
Dr. Crypticus, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm better than last week. Yeah.
Good, man. I'm feeling better than I was feeling last week as well.
Good. What's happening in your world right now?
I mean, nothing particularly great is happening in my world right now, but you know what? Nothing bad's happening either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in my life. An absence of particularly bad, which feels like heaven right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We are, because it specifically feels like heaven because we are living on the surface of fucking hell at the moment. In case anybody's wondering, my official theme song was written by Glenn Danzig. It's called Twist of Cain, and it plays in my head every time I walk into a room.
Come alive with a... like, oh shit, like where's that coming from?
Where's that coming from? And then I walk through the door and they're like, that's the baddest motherfucker of all time.
And you got smoke rolling in with you. You got a dry ice
how dope
machine.
would that be?
Now,
and the thing is though, it would be I'm wearing my fucking blazer, all right? I'm wearing my jeans and I'm wearing an obscure band t-shirt.
Excuse me, Professor, is a Kano a reference to your genitals?
Yeah.
Are you assaulting us
Twist
right now?
of Kano, is that like a Bible thing or like a Mortal Kombat thing? I'm confused. Like it's a Danzig thing.
I worshipped that early Danzig stuff. I still love
Dude, Danzig 1 and Danzig 2 and Danzig 3 all fucking rip. 4 is the one that I got into Danzig way after the fact, man.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I know. Like I remember, I just for some reason there were just no people in my orbit when I was a kid who maybe they were listening to Danzig, but they weren't pushing Danzig on me. I don't know. I didn't listen to Danzig
by then.
It was like my mid-20s. I was in like my mid-20s before I ever really get like I'd been into Misfits for a while, but I was in my mid-20s where I gave Danzig a shot. And
what'd you start with?
Danzig.
First one.
Danzig 1, yes.
So good.
The whole thing is really great, and it's what's a bummer is that you, over time, you just see it start to.
Yeah. And it's all it's exactly when Rick Rubin stops producing the albums that Danzig loses the plot on what people loved about him, and he starts going, "Well, I'm an industrial musician now." Like, no, you're not, buddy.
We need you just playing. We need you and a guitar doing some simple, stripped down, fucking swagger anthems. Yeah, I think the problem right now is my shitty headphones, my studio monitors. That like anytime all I have to do is turn the little jack and it just.
Oh yeah. You might need to.
They're cheap. Time to upgrade. They're cheap old Sonys, man, and it's time. Like I'm sitting here using these things to record a fucking album and like do all these podcasts and everything. Like maybe it's time to spend some money. Maybe it's time to get a nice set of headset.
I was gonna say since you're such a fucking music connoisseur and shit, man, you really got to get a super powered set of studio cans because it'll just open up your entire world. And
that's what
listening to old albums and stuff.
I want to do that, and then I've got to get new computer speakers. I've had the same computer speakers I've had since 2012, and they have
it's prehistoric.
Yeah, they have been brave soldiers. Their tour of duty has been fucking long and grueling, and has seen them move across many different places. And I think it's just about time to send them out to the pasture.
Buddy, you see, and that's the other thing. Just standards for albums. Death metal albums being mixed has changed since 2012. So there's frequencies you're just not privy to right now that when you upgrade, it's just going to be a bath of just, oh, this sounds so good.
I can't wait.
Well, yeah. And especially now that you're in TROCAR, you gotta get something to where you can hear those yucky frequencies. You gotta hear
I gotta hear the big nasties, the big gurgly nasties. Let's talk about Prey.
Yes, please.
Holy fuck. That's it.
No, you said way more than that on Twitter. So come on, let's spill.
Dude, I thought it was just an incredible movie, man. The acting was incredible. The production was incredible. They fucking got Native Americans out front leading an action movie.
Yes.
A female action lead. Like, dude, it's just all the cool shit. I got into a conversation with a guy on Twitter earlier today from carrying over from last night. And this is a guy who said He loved everything until the musket showed up. The flintlock pistol showed up at the end.
Why? Why did he say?
He said it's fan service bullshit. That's called storytelling. Like, that's not fan service. Is it? And are we happy? The fans of Predator 2, are we happy that they saw that? Well, sure, but it's not like the girl found a fucking lightsaber buried in the dirt or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's fan service.
Dan Trachtenberg, I love this guy as a director. He's off of YouTube because he made a fan movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he made a Portal fan movie with his friend, and it's one of those that was done at home, but with crazy good special effects. It was them with portal guns running around and using portal guns on each other in their house, and it was fucking completely like the game. Like, man, this dude is just super talented. And him, Fede Alvarez, the guy who did that Evil Dead movie, he's another dude that got pulled off of YouTube for a short.
He rules too. That Evil Dead movie is incredible, man. I love it.
Fede went on to direct one of the Dragon Tattoo Girl sequels. Yeah, he's so fucking good. He's so talented. So anyway, so when I heard Trachtenberg was doing it, I was like, this guy's not gonna bungle it. And I honestly think overall, no matter what anyone out there is belly aching about, overall, it is the best Predator movie, period.
I agree.
Now, we have connections to the other ones because of our childhood and the emotion behind it. Like, I worship Predator 2. I think Predator 2 is so fucking great and sleazy and gory and awesome and 80s and but it's not necessarily a good movie.
Well, like I love Predator 2 and I always have, and I really thought that I was mostly alone. I've seen a lot of shit talk about it over the years, but like, so now I found out that you really love it. Ross from Impaled was on Twitter talking about how it was his favorite Predator movie, and
I didn't know that.
Two or three other people joined in with him. The Predator 2 Love Fest is making me feel good, man. My dad took me and one of my friends fucking duck hunting, and dude, it was
no, it sucked.
I didn't like hunting, man.
The hunting part, yeah.
You gotta get up real early, and it's cold as fuck, and then you're like, you got to put on waders and like go out into the man. Shit.
I would just want to go camp out there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do any of that shit. But like, we watched Predator 2 on VHS at this place, and it was just like
memory.
Yeah, man, it was a blast. It was a good fucking
memory. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I attach my memories of Predator 2 to a very specific I saw it on an X-rental VHS copy.
Nice.
And so I thought, oh, this probably sucks. And then I was like, this fucking rules. Like, the second the Predator's on top of the building getting struck by lightning, I was in.
He's on the roof getting struck by lightning and just fucking dancing around with his spine. He's just like, he's got his fucking spine and he's got the fucking rhythm, and he gets struck by lightning and just keeps fucking going.
That's the thing. You get to see the Predator kind of enjoy itself more.
Yeah.
Because it's in a city, But anyway, cool, also the 8-bit Nintendo game Contra, which is legendary.
Yeah.
Contra was.
I played Contra.
Everybody of my generation played Contra. Trevor was obsessed with Contra. We all loved Contra.
Yeah.
Contra was based on two things. Primarily on Predator. It was kind of a mishmash of Aliens and Predator. And if you see the cover artwork, they just have a recreation of Schwarzenegger holding that gun.
Yeah.
And then behind him is a recreation of a different shot of Schwarzenegger with different hair holding a different gun. So it's just Predator worship, that entire game. So that game is in my blood, and that movie is in my blood, just growing up with Predator. So I've been very pissed off and disappointed by all these very stupid sequels like The Predator. And so I felt
that was a bad movie. The Predator was
rewatching that one now. Oh, buddy. I think the new version of the Predator that they redesigned, which is technically the oldest version, is the coolest, grossest.
The topography of his face after they pull the mask off, and the fact that his mandibles are higher up than the other one. The whole thing about it really did feel like the changes that they made, as in, we're going to show you something new, right?
Yes.
In Predators and in the Predator, when they did these different subspecies or species of predators, and in 2000 in Predators, you're supposed to have these two warring factions or warring clans or whatever. And then in the Predator, you've got like the super predators that are like whatever, taking human DNA and
then it'll have a dog that also has dreadlocks.
Yeah. Which is the whole thing.
Predator takes his dog to the to Predator dog groomer, because give him what I've got. Give
Make
him the
him
locks.
look like me. Make him look like me.
Owners grow to look like their dogs.
That's right. Everybody knows. That way everybody knows that we're together. It's like when a family shows up to like an amusement park and everybody's wearing a blue shirt or something like that. Make sure me and my dog match.
Predator likes to dress his little dog like him, when they go out. It's cute. Sorry.
Well, it's a different day, motherfucker.
Speaking of, I noticed you have some kind of fancy shirt you're showing off that I'm trying not to mention because I don't want to. Wow, that is the best VHS shirt I've ever seen. That print goes all the way from your happy trail all the way up to your rutabaga. That is zero space wasted.
Yeah, zero space wasted. I hate when it's
tiny print in the middle. I like that kind of print. VHS.
This is the art from their album before their last album, because VHS puts out something new like every 6 months. This is the cover art from Gore from Beyond the Stars, which was such a kick-ass album. VHS
Canadian gore grinders.
VHS Canadian
gore grinders.
All kinds of. You can't even nail down their fucking style. And then another thing about obviously because you work with VHS. If you're a label and you're watching this right now, and a gore grind band approaches you and their music contains elements of D-beat hardcore and industrial metal, you should probably pay close attention to that band, and you should sign that band because they're going places. They're doing big things.
As long as they don't cover Ministry, I'll sign them.
Okay, that's
anything
cool.
But Ministry.
Nobody should cover Ministry. It's a bad fucking idea.
Especially not a gore grind band.
Especially not.
But yeah, that was a ballsy cover. Certain people who went to certain clubs and hung out with certain groups and stuff know that song, and it's in their heart. Just like you just have to say the title. It's like
you know where that came from, right? Why we ended up,
No.
Symposium of Sickness.
No. That's how it started? It was from your Ministry talk on the show?
Yeah, we had a conversation where I can't remember if it was me or Trevor, but one of us said, death metal dudes love old Ministry. And I thought to myself, God damn, they do. I knew we wanted to do something more electronic to sort of gesture where we were headed, because those 3 tracks that are on there that are original are just like straight up fucking open throttle core grind. With like a little bit of melodic stuff thrown in there that's unexpected. We're demoing the album right now.
Oh, okay.
And the new shit is just...
Oh, even more.
Oh, yeah. I think, I got one track I'm going to send you after we get off, man, that I think you're going to like.
Cheers to you, Clanky.
Hey, cheers. How do you feel about Soulfly?
Oh, buddy, you're talking to the wrong guy. I got bad feelings about Soulfly, and it's not their fault. But, coming up a Sepultura thrash kid and stuff, and watching Sepultura defeat Slayer at the thrash game and become the kings of it, and then just decide midstream, we're Korn now. I had some problems, so it's not for me. But I'd love to hear you talk about it, because I hear it's great.
It may be worth checking out. Perhaps. I will. It's a heavy fucking record, man.
Okay.
And if you need an old school Sepultura fix, I really do think that you can get it from this record.
They're not new metal anymore. Okay.
Soulfly?
Bro. That was the most new metal-ish shit I ever heard in my life.
Oh, no, it was.
3 albums.
The first 2, especially, were really new metal. The third one I did not care for, but from the 4th one on, like, he went back to thrash.
Okay, I completely am out of that, because I'll check that out.
Yeah, I really do think there are some riffs on there that you would like.
Okay. Now, if I like his riffs from back in the day and shit, so I would like to hear that. Yeah, I think it's a very confusing thing if you're going to start a new metal band and then right in the middle of it go, now we're this. It's like, stop doing it. Just whatever. But
I
this
admire,
is not about my feelings.
I know. I admire that he's willing to go anywhere and sort of take Soulfly there. Like, I love Max Cavalera. I love all of Max Cavalera's shit. Mm-hmm. I got a cameo on my birthday from my friend Jason in Max Cavalera playing Jump the Fuck Up for me.
That was super cool.
It was.
The fact that he had his guitar and he was playing songs for you.
Got a little practice amp sitting there. Super passionate. Mm-hmm. But like, that's one of the cool things about Max Cavalera. That's why I feel like we can talk about Soulfly on a death metal podcast. Like, he loves death metal. And the music that he plays is definitely like infused with elements of death metal in some places, specifically Cavalera Conspiracy. The last 2 Cavalera Conspiracy records, that last Cavalera Conspiracy record specifically, Psychosis, fucking shit. What a crazy good record.
Into lots of old school grind.
Yeah, it was grindy. There was grindier shit in there. There was that weird, like, sort of nail bombish sounding song with some Broderick on it. Like, it was just really, it's really, really cool. And so the guy loves this style of music, and you can tell that not necessarily always by listening to the music that he makes, but the music that he supports. One of the cool things about Max Cavalera is that motherfucker will like take a band who's got like one demo out, super raw death metal, and he'll be like, yeah, give me their shirt and let's take them on the road. And like,
which is a real Trevor kind of thing to do.
It is. It's a very Trevor.
We need these minches in the scene, you know.
We do, man. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know Max Cavalera personally. Max, I know you're watching. We know you watch. If you want to hang out or whatever, you just let me know. Like, we'll chat.
Max.
Obviously.
Please, Max. He's a psychopath. He has me trapped. He's trying to trap you.
I know,
Max.
Where you live. We're in the same room right now. Patrick and I are in the same room. He's in another corner. I'm
sorry, boss. I'm sorry. I'm just joking. Just joking. Don't get out the whip again.
Max Cavalera continuously like jumping from one project to another and just continuously pumping out fucking quality output. Like he's making music right now. But the last Soulfly record too. This dude is.
You know, I'm gonna check it out because of your recommendation, and it's not normally my bag, baby. But I'll give it a spin.
Just check out the new one, Totem, and if you like that, work your way backwards.
Boy, you are really getting me into some shit that I've got some.
I'm gonna fuck you up, man.
Yeah, you're fucking me up because it's all this stuff that I've sealed the gates on. And it's like I'm moving forward, and you're like,
that's right, man.
Come back, reopen the files, check it out,
and see what we can do with it. And see where we can go.
I need that in my life. I need that.
I'm happy to supply it, and I sometimes need to be told to shut the door and move on. So we complement each other. We do a good job.
All right. Well,
I got a whole stack of shit to talk about here, man.
Well, you don't say.
Yeah. Did you bring a stack as well?
You got a stack? Huh?
All right, now it's your turn.
You got a stack, huh? Yeah. You got a stack over there, huh? Let's see your stack.
I only got 3 in mine.
See, this is what I'm saying. Look at my stack, people, and despair. This is my stack.
Show the people your stack. Tell us about that shit. What are you fucking stoked on right now?
This is a stack of recent arrivals.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we got.
This isn't just. See, you
just my chair.
A stack of research. You know, I have a stack of new stuff. So this is like in the inbox. Well, this is an old album I actually just rediscovered. You might be familiar with it or not. It's a SARCOPHAGY.
I have not heard that.
SARCOPHAGY, The Summoning. It is an amazing Cannibal Corpse style album on Severed Records. It's an older album that I rediscovered, and it's so fucking good. It's one that if it had been released in the last 3 or 4 years, people would be like, these guys should be playing with Undeath. My God, this is amazing. You know, but it's just kind of forgotten. It's got excellent production.
I'll check
Every song is great. Very. It's a re-release. It's not one of those. It's like lost to time. I think it just went out of print, so they cranked out the second printing. Highly recommended. Great production. Great riffs. American death metal. No frills. It's one of those no frills, but still fantastic.
I love the meat and potatoes shit, man. I love
you especially. Yeah.
I love when there are like different elements and things that surprise me, but at the same time, like I love the feeling of coming home to just like fucking meat and potatoes death metal. You know what I mean? It feels good. Makes me happy.
Home to Mortician and Jungle Rot.
That's right, baby.
This is a band from Germany, Corrosive, that I discovered on Bandcamp. This album is called Ed, and it's because it's an entire concept album about Ed Gein.
Nice.
And it is fucking crushing. It is crushing. It is full of riffs, and the production is huge, and it's like nothing you'd expect, like some kind of little, Mortician-y kind of. Yeah. It's huge. It's like almost like listening to like a Hypocrisy album or something.
Oh, shit.
It's that level of awesomeness. Highly recommend Corrosive. Ed, then the previously mentioned the band whose cover is just a smear of doo-doo.
A smear of gore. New Pharmacist is sick as fuck.
Which is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's very good.
Again, on Severed. Yeah, this is Severed is the ones that made this available in America for less than $1 billion in shipping.
Yeah, man. You can count on... Thank you, Barrett. We like you. We love you. You're welcome to come on the podcast. I'm that guy who bought all those Torso Fuck things from you at Maryland Death Fest. If you don't own the Torso Fuck album, right? And you happen to see it somewhere physically on a shelf, you can't not buy that record.
You can smell it.
I know. I had to sniff it out from outside the tent, and I got in there and I thought to myself, now that is the smell of a diarrhea duet.
Raped by elephant.
It's so insane.
That sample they used from Freddy Got Fingered at the beginning of the song. Ball on the ground laughing.
It's so over the top. It's so fucking gross. You can't help but laugh at it. And if it offends you, like, I'm sorry, man. Like that. Once we get to a place that you get to a place where things are so absurd that it's just try not to take it personally.
That's why I think death metal makes sense in these times. We live in absurd times. We need this shit, people.
We live in the death metal epoch. What else you got?
This is a weird one. This one. I really wanted to talk about this one with Trevor. I reordered the classic "Death Is Just the Beginning" But yeah, this was one of the most legendary that introduced me to so many bands. It's got Pungent Stench, it's got Monstrosity, Master, Sinister, Benediction, Brutality, Afflicted, Incantation, Disharmonic Orchestra, Macabre, Resurrection, Dismember, Mortification, the Christian. We got to talk about Mortification and Christian death metal at some point, because there's some really awesome shit we got to delve into there in the old school. Defecation, Fetish 69, Hypocrisy, Gorefest, Deceased, Righteous Pigs, Amorphous, and Winter. So it's like just this. When I had this tape when I was a kid, and it was just the only comp I had that was more primal and influential to me than that one was the original Earache Grind Crusher compilation, which literally every band on that was the first time I heard those bands. That was the first time I heard Morbid Angel, Nocturnus, Dismember, Entombed, Carcass. That was like the first time I heard every one of those was on the Grind Crusher comp. Yeah. So, those two comps, Grind Crusher, this one, totally changed my life. Everything I do now is still ripping off the bands contained within them. That Revenant song on there, Degeneration, Incantation ended up covering that later. They had some further members, down the line. Right? They had some member swaps. There was some kind of crossover there. I can't remember exactly what it was, because there's been so many different people in and out of Incantation over the years. But that was one of the songs that I ended up running down on like a Decibel flexi disc or something. That came with but it's going to be on that fucking 2-disc best of rarities Incantation thing. It's coming out. Yeah, it's coming out in October. Man, that looks nice, doesn't it? It's so nice. I pre-ordered that shit, baby. Just those old compilations back before the internet were so essential and so important for kids like us living in Arkansas. You know, you had your own. You had your own like. Was it a soundtrack that was your most influential thing, like compilation, or was it something else? Like, what was it that got you into the cool way to find different stuff? Look for labels if it was on the same label as something else that I was familiar with. Like for me, one of the first like label recognition labels was Roadrunner, just because they put out a whole bunch of sick shit early on. But when I was getting into heavy music, they were in their nu metal phase, and so it was cool to like listen to bands like Coal Chamber or whatever, who I was really into, and honestly that I still like. But then you like go back and you look at some of the bands that used to put out shit on Roadrunner, like fucking Suffocation and Cynic and Deicide, and you're like, Typo. Where's all that coming from? Oh well, I was into Typo at that time. Typo was one of those different thing, but Typo was running concurrently with the nu metal era, and oddly enough, they ended up getting lumped in with it a couple of times. I've been revisiting Peter in interviews and stuff, and it's amazing that band worked out at all, and that it was popular, and it was such an amazing thing that broke through, and that such a gateway band getting people into goth and stuff. Amazing stuff. I think that was the virtue of how unique Typo Negative was, is that they couldn't even figure out how to market. I was like, we just have to put them in with the rest of them. But anyway, that's the carnivore guy showed up at the office with some fucking demos, and we didn't know how to say no to him, and now we're stuck with this. He's a scary guy. You know you're fucking someone else, okay? I'm gonna put a fucking jackhammer in your twat, okay? This is a good Pete Steele, man. We gotta do. Well, I've been listening to a lot of interviews and been listening to a lot of interviews and practicing for these people who call themselves my family. I will never forget them. He was talking about how his family, when he was committed or whatever. Yeah. He was on coke and stuff, and his family kind of had him 5150. Yeah. He was like, I'll never forgive them. I used to have 5 older sisters. No, I don't. That's fucked up. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I feel bad for them trying to save somebody and not knowing what to do. And this one is a weird one. Sensory Amusia. Are you familiar with these guys? No, man. You're finding all kinds of shit that I don't know. This is big on Bandcamp. I think you'd really like them. They're definitely melodic death metal, but it's got a little bit of a black metal-y edge to it and a little bit of a brutality to it. Okay. I like melodic death metal, like Black Dahlia, where it's like it's melodic as shit, but there's also like a lot of brutality. Yeah, it's also ugliness in there. This is a little, you'd really like these guys. I feel really beautiful digipack. Sick. Lacerated Enemy. So when Lacerated Enemy releases something with cover art that looks all kind of folky, that they're up to something. Interesting, yeah, because I usually expect like slam or just like straight up brutal death metal from Lacerated. So kind of a brutally melodic-y kind of death metal. I'll check that shit, dude. I liked it like that. Did you like that Dungeon Serpent album that came out on Desert Wasteland? Did you ever check that out? Yeah, I did. I bought that actually. Brutal melodic death metal. I bought that. I like that shit. It's major intestine balism. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Brutal melodic death metal. I do think that it's cool to look back at like Swedish death metal or other death metal, usually European death metal, that's not necessarily melodic.
but you can see the roots of melodic death metal in it.
I think you nailed it by saying intestine ballism, because I think that is the exact perfect point where brutality and melody melodicism and I love all the neoclassicisms in it and stuff. Then I got my own copy finally of the NECROGOD album that I mixed.
Oh, nice.
Which is Raja and my friend Master Butcher. And it's on Transcending Obscurity. And this is the most fucking, as you can see here, it's this gold inlaid digipack, which is fucking gorgeous. And it's just, I don't know how Transcending Obscurity is making any money.
Crypticus record with that kind of layout. Oh my God.
Well, maybe now I have inflated my worth enough to where that might happen. But if Kunal contacted me now, I would say, talk to my friend Schuler Benson.
Oh man, I don't have time to do it.
He has nothing to do. He has nothing but free time. He wants to work for you, and he wants to be Transcending Obscurity America. And Kunal, I'm talking to you right now through the camera. Send everything to my friend Schuler here, and he'll do it. He's already said he'll do it, and he said he'll do it free of pay. Okay.
You just send me a bunch of stuff.
And then I might sell it. You'll be like a cocaine dealer. You just keep all the stuff for yourself.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it out of here. I'll move that shit real fast.
Don't get high on your own supply, Schuler.
But I would.
Where's my money, bro? I didn't sell any CDs this month. I just listened to them.
I own all of these now. We'll send them back.
But it's 20 copies of the same CD. I still listen to every one of them. Next on the hopper, we kissed our friend's butt there for these guys, the German semi-grind band Depression.
I know them from a split with Agonizer.
Right, they've been around forever.
Yeah,
like I want to say they've been around since 1990 or something. But their stuff has always been kind of like they're one of those bands on a billion splits with a billion bands.
Yeah.
Core grindy, awesome stuff. And
I like that.
The Dark Dimension. This one's really good. So those guys deserve your support. I only got two more here. This is oldish for now, but still, holy fuck, that Worm album, Foreverglade.
Oh yeah.
That was great. This is like made for me. It's called the synth in it and shit.
Yeah.
Spooky it is, and it's all like worshipping horror and stuff. So another fucking this one. I had been it'd been on my list forever, but
it's really good.
From last year?
It's from last year.
I only got the CD just now.
It's from last year. It does, like you said, it does have a whole lot of different influences in it. They weren't on my radar at all before this album came out. Apparently, their older stuff is way more black metal.
Oh, I didn't even know there was older shit.
There's older shit. I'm pretty sure they've got some previous stuff that's
demos.
That's more in a black metal vein.
Oh, okay. Well, that would explain this album has a. See, that's what I like black metal atmosphere more than I like black metal. I like black metal atmosphere in death metal. That's the way I like it. When black metal gets atmosphere right, a lot of death metal just kind of is like, well, we're four guys in a studio playing our instruments. Like, yeah, but what are you singing about? I don't know, gore and stuff. Like, no, dress it up for us.
Give us something.
Yeah, show us that this is a portal into your imagination, into the darkness of your soul. That's what I'm looking for. I get that from Worm. I get that from all good death metal. Of course, there's guys like KRISIUN that you go, oh, that's three guys in a studio just banging around. Like, there's no, I don't believe their imagery. Like, what is KRISIUN talking about in their lyrics? Nothing.
I haven't listened to KRISIUN since like Conquerors of Armageddon.
Are you kidding?
Dude, I'm not kidding. And they're another one of those bands who just for whatever reason slipped off my radar and never got back on it. And they've been steady fucking pumping shit out. When I was in high school, I had Black Force Domain and Conquerors of Armageddon.
Yeah,
and I thought they were both fucking dope.
Wow.
But again, they just kind of fell through.
Assassination. That album is a crusher. That one's really great.
I need to go back.
Go back specifically to that album. There's a song called Father's Perversions.
I can tell already.
Bro, that song will melt your face off. That to me, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel they've ever topped that album, and they put out like maybe 6 or 7 since then.
Yeah, they got a bunch of records out now, which I didn't realize that they were quite as prolific as they are.
I do love that they're also one of those bands that does a whole tour of different death metal producers, so you get to hear the Eric Rutan version of KRISIUN. You get to hear,
that's cool.
But yet they never. It's like, why do you use all these guys and you never circle around to, like, say, a fucking Swano? Like, I want to hear Swano. Swano.
It just hadn't happened yet. So I have to, I gotta be careful walking around on camera right now because I'm in my fucking boxers because my
your chones.
I sweat through my shorts.
I gotta order you a sport kilt.
I need a sport kilt.
Can be kilt.
That would be sick as fuck. So one of the things that I've been really enjoying just the last few days is dumb shit. Like the dumbest fucking shit that I could possibly find. And I was very, very lucky because 2 very fucking dumb records have been released recently. And they're both a blast. The first one is one that I've been waiting for fucking forever. It is FLESHROT's Unburied Corpse. This is, I think we mentioned them on one of our previous conversations, but I don't think we ever got too far into it. It released the full album recently on Desert Wasteland Productions, and it fucking rips. It's dumb as shit, right? It's mid-paced fucking death metal. The production is really fucking muddy. I think it's really, it really reminds me of like the summer of 2019 when I was first starting Death Drive. You know, I'd lived with death metal and been enjoying death metal for a really, really long time as a mostly solitary activity. And then that summer, once I started getting online and connecting with people and noticing, like, first of all, meeting this entire new generation of people who are getting into this music and making this music and listening to this music, that was really fucking awesome. And then just reconnecting and connecting with bands and other people who are my age, like who are in our age bracket, who are still doing this shit at the time in their life when they're supposed to be listening to elevator music, fucking Acoustic Alchemy and the Rippingtons. I was just so stoked on like the purity of old, crusty death metal in the summer of 2019. And those are the same vibes that I'm getting right now from FLESHROT's Unburied Corpse. Continue to listen to that over and over again. And Molder's Engrossed in Decay.
I still haven't given that a full listen.
This is the one I want. Of those 2, those are the 2 that I want. This is the one that I want you to check out. Fleshcrawl's good. FLESHROT's good. Listen to it. Fleshcrawl is also good. Listen to them. But Molder, man, it's just a real fucking solid record. I feel like they've had a little bit more time to develop maybe than FLESHROT. I don't know why I'm comparing these 2 bands. I guess just because I'm listening to them. They both put out records around the same time. But, you know, Molder's got a little bit of stuff out already. They've got a demo and a compilation and a split and a couple of other things that they've done.
One of the demos on the
got An Act of Revenge is one of them.
They're real old school sounding, right?
Yeah, super old school sound. It's just a gross sounding record, man, and it's got a gross cover and it's got gross art. Like everything about it is just super fucking nasty. And I know that's at this point is kind of like a cliche way to describe something, but it's accurate still.
It feels nasty.
Yeah,
it is nasty.
It feels nasty and it is nasty. Another one that I got recently that I've been waiting for. So when Desert Wastelands first launched, they had a handful of bands that they recruited and they did like some demos. They had Sepsis, they had FLESHROT and a couple other bands. And one of those bands was Path to War from Baltimore, Maryland. Fantastic band, and just like FLESHROT, I really, really love their promo. They put out a little compilation too of some of their earlier demos. I've been waiting on this thing fucking forever. It's called Chaos Eternal. It's an EP. It's excellent, and it's also their last release.
Oh shit!
It's a fucking bummer, man.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, they put this thing together and they put it out, and now they're splitting up. I think everybody in the band is moving into another band, so it's not like we're gonna stop getting music from those dudes. But I just thought they had a really clear vision of what they wanted to do. It was very much in the vein of like, it's got a lot of bolt thrower vibes to it because it's very, very war oriented. But there is like more of a Swedish riffs kind of thing going on in a lot of places that I think is pretty cool, old school Stockholm shit.
The name sounds familiar. I think I have that in my wish list. I think
it was on, just like FLESHROT, man. It took forever for these bands to get full lengths out, and obviously COVID had everything to do with that. Like that just kind of shut down everybody's plans and fucked everybody up. But it was, a long wait, and I guess maybe that plays into it a little bit. Path to War is really tight. I'm getting a lot of mileage out of that, and then of course one of our very favorite happy accidents, Inhuman Condition. And their new record Fear Sick, which I think is really, really good. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, and I have to admit that being a friend of Camely's and being pals with everyone who's in the modern incarnation of Massacre, I am throwing my ball on the Massacre side of the fence. If it's a band featuring all my pals, I'm gonna have to back them up.
Absolutely.
Down,
The good thing about that though is that you could back them up even if you didn't know them, because recent Massacre is fucking excellent. Y'all fucked up and gave me a platform. You fucking people fucked up and you let me meet my idols and you let me meet my heroes, and now I'm gonna bug the shit out of them for the rest of their lives. Got 3.5 minutes, fucking
look into each other's eyes and
hands down, baby. I still fucking I got this little stack of things. I couldn't do it, man. if you've watched this far, if you are enjoying yourself, understand that we are enjoying ourselves very much. And seeing this bring people together, and seeing this create connections, and seeing this getting people to maybe think differently about something that they'd written off or that they maybe haven't checked out yet, we love that shit. I love you, Patrick. We're where we need to be. This is Megatrends in Brutality, and we're going to see you motherfuckers next time. Peace out, bitches.
Peace out. Thank you, sir.
Oi, what's up, Schuler? Max Cavalera here. I am on tour, Return to Roots, playing in Costa Rica. I'm in the hotel room. The legend, the myth, Schuler! Schuler! Fuck shit up, Max Cavalera style. Remember, I am your metal brother from the heart for life.